Okay, I've been asked by a couple of subscribers to show my outdoor antenna, my G5RV, which is used for HF. And I seriously doubt this is going to come out very good, but I tried to follow up on my request, so here goes. You can see, let me move a little bit. Of course, I'm doing this handheld, which is another no-no for videos. But you can see at the peak of the roof, there are two antennas, or maybe you can't see. The lower one, which is also the shorter one, is the peak of the G5RV, and then there's a ladder line that comes down, lays on the roof, unfortunately, which is not a good idea, and then eventually comes around and then goes back up, because I used to have it going someplace else, and goes in. I'll have to back up a little bit, hope we don't fall down. You can't see it very well, but there's another window over the peak of the roof, and that's where the coax cable goes into the house. And that peak, I would say, is about maybe 17, 18 feet high. And then one leg comes down this way and goes into my backyard. And sorry for the shaking. And I don't know if you can see it, but right there is where the insulator is, and then the rope that ties it to that metal pole over there. And then below that, you see is another antenna. This is a homebrew antenna that's for, I believe, 40 meters, which is the antenna I use in my workshop for HF. There, don't think it'll show up too well. See if I try to zoom. Between that white pole is my two antennas for working satellites, amateur radio satellites. I have not used that. Oh, my cat's complaining now because I'm not paying attention to him. I have not used the satellite antennas in probably 15 years because the rotor, which I can show you, try to show you quickly. You know, the contrast is really bad, so a lot of this is not going to show up. But the rotor there stopped working, and I no longer can climb on the ladder that high, so there it sits. Anybody would like to volunteer and help me fix that rotor, I'd appreciate it. Now we're in my front yard, and there's another shot, and I'll zoom in. And there is the G5RV coming down to my front yard, and there is the isolator and then the rope that ties it to a telephone pole. So anyway, that's my G5RV. Again, I don't know if it'll come out. Here's another shot of, and I'll back out here. There's my satellite antennas. And of course, the other problem you will notice is all these trees that have grown over. And of course, they affect the performance of the antennas. The antenna on the tip top is a little simple ground plane antenna for VHF and UHF. One of my subscribers just sent me a Amazon credit to get another one of these, a newer one. This one is about, gosh, I would think 25, oh no, it's probably 30 years old. And it's still working okay. I don't know how good the coax is. Most of my coax is about 25 years old. But, and I got this antenna from Radio Shack for $12. And it works quite well for VHF and UHF. And a friend of mine many, many years ago who told me about it even used it for transmitting on 2 meters. So I'm going to get a new one of those. Of course, it's not from Radio Shack, but it's the same basic design. And check it out and see how it works, because this will be if it works like my old one, it will be a great antenna for VHF and UHF. I think my cat wants to go back in out of the cold, so I'm going to head into the house. That's the show. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.